Hello. Uh, Good afternoon, each and every one of us. You're welcome to Satim's Media. You're welcome to our program for today, The Power of Preparation 1.0. Uh, it's an awesome time. For some of us that have been seeing the publicity, it's been wonderful. So you're all welcome today. Uh, we'll be having a wonderful time in the program today. So just relax yourself and tell us where you are watching from. Just tell us where you're watching from. If you're joining us already, we'll have a few persons that are joining already. Thank you very much for joining. So just tell us where you are watching us from. If you're watching from Nigeria, watching from the United Kingdom, just tell us where you're watching from. Thank you for joining. I tell you, our guests, they are ready for us tonight. So it's going to be a wonderful program. So just tell us where you're watching from. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you very, very, very much for joining us. So we have a guest already. So I'm already seeing some persons commenting. Oh, thank you very much, Steven from the UK. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you very much. It's going to be a wonderful meeting. We have a guest in our midst. They're already seated here in the studio. They are ready to dish out a lot to us this evening. So just relax yourself, be calm, and be ready to get the best this evening. Thank you for joining. For those that have joined already, thank you very much. We appreciate you this evening. We're going to be looking at the power of preparation 1.0. So in subsequent time, we're going to come up with 2.0. It's going to be a weekly program. So just sit back and enjoy yourself. For those coming here for the very first time, if you're joining for the very first time, we welcome you and we appreciate your coming this evening. Thank you very much for joining. Yes, we are looking at a lot. What does preparation entails? Academically, what does it entails? So we want to really look at what youths, young adults, what they ought to do while preparing for at any stage in their life. So we have a lot to be looking at this evening. Yeah, thank you, Oladoja Oluwa Wemimo. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you very much for joining. We are hoping that the program this evening will cause a shift in each and every one of us. So that is our belief, and we trust God that is going to do a wonderful thing this evening. We have two guests this evening. They are scholars in their various fields. So we needed to balance the equation, a male and a female. So we want you to listen extensively, listen to when scholars they are talking. They have a lot to dish out. They have a lot to dish out. So we will be introducing our guest to join us in the studio now. But before we introduce them, if you are joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, just tell us where you are joining from. The country you are, just send us a like, share it so that other persons will have access to it. We want youth to understand that there is power in preparing for anything that you are doing. So we want to bring our first, we'll be bringing them together, but we'll call on the first guest this evening. He's a friend, he's a brother. He has affected me in diverse ways too. So I think it's good for him to come and introduce himself, because if you know the person I'm talking about, he has his BA already, had a master's in the University of Benin, completed another master's with distinction in City University, London, and also currently doing his PhD in Sheffield Hallam University here in the United Kingdom. So you can see that the person we are talking about is a guru. So welcome Oluwaferami Adeyemo. Oluwaferami Adeyemo, good evening and thank you for joining us this evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Yeah, okay. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so
Uh,
much
thank,
for having me.
thank you very much for joining us. So, how has it been with you?
Well, not bad. Quite all right. And you?
Well, we're doing well. We're doing well. So, you can hear you speak. So that's how Guru. That's how they speak. So he has a lot to dish out this evening.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
The second person that'll be joining us this evening is a friend too, and is another a wonderful personality. She did an undergraduate program too. So I had to come up with somebody from the art class and also a scientist. So that tells you that they are ready. So we have one of our very own this evening that will be speaking to us in different way concerning what she also knows about the power of preparation. We have she had a first class in our undergraduate program, in a BSc, and also currently doing a master's in the University of West of the Scotland here in the United Kingdom. So you join me as I welcome Mayowa Messi. So, Miss Mayowa Messi, good evening. Okay, I know you always tell me I should add Ojetunde. So, Ojetunde Messi, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
So, how has it been with you?
yeah, very well.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening.
Yeah, it's like
So, without wasting much time, we want to go straight into the discussion for this evening, the power of preparation 1.0. So, we'll be looking at it from the academical point of view, what preparation entails, what does it mean to be prepared for a particular thing, and how youths can be prepared in whatever they are doing, whether they are preparing for their SSC, whether they are preparing for their JAM, whether they are preparing for the university examination, and also their masters, the postgraduate student too. So they are not left out of this program this evening. So we'll be looking at it from different points of view. But before we look at that, please, Mr. Oluwaferami, please can you introduce yourself so that our viewers can know you better? Thank you very much.
well, I think you said it all. I'm Oluwafermi Adeyemo, and I'm a doctoral student at Sheikh Hallam University, and I'm carrying out a research on just for my audience sake, the future of job, and the role the voluntary sector is playing and their experiences as well. So basically, I'm working on how youth unemployment can be reduced, and how the third sector NGOs, like some people call it, at the local level, how the role they are playing and their experience in that role. And like he said, I did my master's both in Nigeria and here in the UK, and I have a background in mass communication from Joseph Babala University in Osun State, Nigeria. And over the years, I've been working in the development space as a communication specialist, working on different projects and initiatives to make sure that we achieve the sustainable development goals. And recently, I've been volunteering with Save the Children and Christian Aid, so here in the UK, to lead campaigns and other online advocacy on welfare, social welfare, and policy influencing, and anything you can think of. So I think, well, that's me for now. I guess. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. That's a wonderful profile. So we hope getting there soon. Okay, Miss Ojetunde Messi Mayowa. So you're welcome. So can you please introduce yourself so that our viewers can know you better? Thank you.
okay. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Okay, so I am Messi Ojetunde. I finished from Osun State University. I'm a first class graduate of microbiology from Osun State University. And then I during my stay in the university, I developed interest for research. So I went on to I looked for a good place for my doctoral training, So, and eventually I had the opportunity to get involved in research at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, and where I was able to do research on COVID and so many other infectious disease. And currently, I am studying at the University of the West of Scotland, MSc Biotechnology. And my current research is on chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, yeah, because of its impact on the global economy. So I have taken other leadership roles, volunteering positions because I know the impact volunteering has on the population also. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us this evening. So such a wonderful profile that we have this evening. So first of all, I want I'll be asking us questions before we can go ahead to share our various experiences thus far, how you got to where you are, the challenges you've had over time, and how you've been able to overcome such challenges. So I think I'll have to start from that angle. Mr. Oluwaferami Adeyemo, you have been in the academic sector for a while now, so you know what students, what they face as challenges, and you also know how these students can actually deal with these various challenges that they have. So how do you think, or what do you think are the various challenges that students face in their academical pursuits?
Well, it really depends on the individual, and it can be categorized under personal or family situation, financial challenges. Then when it comes to academic itself, or maybe trying to have that grasp of knowledge in your chosen field or discipline or course, or if you want to put it that way. So, in terms of family background, some people, because of the issues surrounding their family, it may be difficult for them to have that kind of consecration or that kind of commitment towards the academic pursuit. And if we look at the financial constraint as well, we all know that trying to acquire knowledge is money oriented, right? So sometimes the finance might not be really there. Then if we not look at about the issues of grasp of knowledge, some individuals, they have this limited kind of opportunity to acquire that knowledge, in the sense that what A is going to learn like fastly, B is going to take more time to learn. So the mental capacity of students are different, and that is why it's important to know your mental capacity and how you are able to adjust to that and make sure that you get the very best out of your education. And all these things, they are, like I said, it depends on the individual. They're personalized, and you really have to know what the reality of what you're passing through as a student, to know the solution you have to look into to provide a very good academic pathway for yourself. But overall, basically, it's also depend on your environment of study. If you're in Nigeria, for instance, we know we have issues such as the HASU strike, issues such as obsolete curriculum. We have issues such as interpersonal relationship among lecturers and students. We have issues such as maybe government policy and other external issues that may kind of affect the students' performance. So all these things are common factors that may affect a student in the academic pursuit. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your explanation and for helping us to understand some of these things. So I think I'm already jotting down, so I'm getting my points also. Miss Mercy Ojetunde, I know you've been also with the research area, trying to do one or two research. So in your own area as a researcher, what do you think are the challenges that students might likely face as a researcher?
Okay. Thank you very much. So in research, like the other person has said, lack of funds. So in research, the major problem is we trying to get the funds to
Okay.
to fund the research, to like take care of the research and all. So students kind of find that aspect difficult, and it's kind of limits them to what they should do. So eventually some of them might not come up with a very good one, and maybe they are not even able to publish because there are no funds to do a very good research. So the number one thing in research, for you to carry out a very good research, there must be enough fund, there must be money available to fund the project, so that a very good work can be done and can be published in maybe a reputable journal with maybe a very good impact factor. So that's the most important thing people look at. So instead of students going in for a very good research, they might want to settle for the one that won't even cost them much because of the financial problems around, most especially in the country, for example, Nigeria. So I think that is an area the government or the academic sector should really look at, if they can fund students, or if they can help maybe some number of students to do a very good research. So another thing is that, because in research you're trying to solve a problem, you're trying to find a gap and you're trying to fill it up, you are trying to answer some research questions. So there are some students that maybe they are not patient in research. You just have to be patient, because you get to do a lot of findings, you get to read a lot of papers. So somebody that is not patient enough will not be able to look for a particular good thing to do, and then it might actually affect the research outcome at the end of the day. So there should be a question you're trying to answer, there should be a gap. So for you to find a gap, you must have read a lot of papers. And in this generation we are in this age, I don't know, students are not so much focused on the real thing. They want to do their own, they want to go their own way. A lot of people going on TikToks, Instagrams. Nobody wants to read, nobody wants to do this, because maybe they feel, oh, it's a waste of time, let's just do business. Well, I feel we still need researchers, we still need scientists that will be able to discover a lot of, there are still some things that are yet to be discovered. So I think, with number one, funds; number two, students should be patient with reading research papers. And they should also learn, they should, in this generation, the Google is there, we have the internet around. We can always go online to download papers, go online to download journals that are very important to maybe whatever we want to look at, maybe whatever research we want to do. So I just feel that, number one, no funds; number two, students are not patient enough to read, to study. And then it's kind of having an effect, yeah, on the research outcome. So yeah, that is, I think those are just the two major problems, challenges. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss Ojetunde Messi. You've actually opened up so many things to us, which we're still going to be looking at later on, which has to do with the area of, you talked about TikTok, talk about different social media handles. So we're going to look at them also extensively this evening as time will permit us. So, Mr. Oluwaferami, please, can you tell us how has been the experience so far? Uh, from your undergraduate program. Okay, we're going to start from the secondary school angle now. So from your secondary school, how were you able to prepare yourself? Now you're undergraduate, your first master's, your second master's, and now you're doing your PhD. So how has it been so far? For the journey, how has it been so far? So can you please let us know? Thank you very much.
Well, I think it's a roller coaster, if I'm going to put it that way. So basically, I started my high school as a commercial student. I don't know, maybe that's still applicable today. So commercial in the sense like you're looking into art and accounting, you're looking at business studies and economics. So because my passion back then was to be like my grandfather, who was the first professor of accounting in Nigeria. So I wanted to be an accountant, to be a professor in accountancy, to practice, right? But at the end of the day, my dad noticed that I was not good in mathematics, so it was like some conflict of interest between both of us, that you can't be a commercial student. You have to go to arts, whereby you won't have issues much of mathematics to do, because accountant, finance and account, is it account? I forgot honestly. Financial management, financial studies, it has to do with calculations. Pardon me. So it was a kind of bit back and forth, and at the end of the day, I had no choice, because of the issues of parental control. I think that's still very much around in our society today, whereby the parents get to dictate what you have to do, because they're the one paying your tuition fees and what have you. So I went to the art class, and luckily I was able like to struggle through and get a good WAEC result grade. And at the end of the day, the pursuit for admission started. Then in art class, I wanted to be a lawyer, and because that's one of the things that was spread and that, oh, if you're a lawyer, if you're an art class, you must be a lawyer. You must go to the bar and what have you. But at the end of the day, after trying to get admission for 2 years, you know, passing jam, doing post UME, but not being able to get her admission. And I know that's still common very much today. So I had to settle for a private university to study mass communication. And that's where I found my love for journalism, my love for content writing, my love for broadcasting. And I really saw that, oh really, this is like a field of study that is kind of connected to my personality. And I was really able to pick up. And honestly speaking, during my undergrad level, I was not really that kind of, the best of students, the FECO, like some people will call it. I was just doing my thing, trying to have my social life in place, and trying to just make sure that I do things the way I can, or the way I could possibly go about it. But one thing that kept me pushing through was the thought of my tuition fee that's being paid, and not wanting to disappoint my parents, because honestly, it's a huge sum of money. And at the end of the day, I struggled to graduate with a 2-1. And it was after my graduation that I realized, when I was having a conversation with one of my lecturers, and she told me that, you know what, Oluwafemi, if you had been serious with your studies, you could have graduated with a first class, because you have a first class tendency. And that got to me, and I had to sit down. Like, oh, really? That means there's something in me that I did not notice. And since then, I promised myself that going forward, I'm going to be more serious, take my studies seriously, and plan my life, and try to work towards my plans as well. And that made me to go back to the University of Benin to do my master's at University of Benin, to just prove a point to myself that I can actually do this, actually come out with a very good grade. And with age, and with maturity and everything on my side now, I know much better, and I know how to do things more better now. Then I was able to go to University of Benin and uh, just prove myself and prove the point. And at the end of the day, I graduated. And along the line, started the masters in 2016, because of the academic environment of Nigeria. 2017, 2018, 2019. So a masters of like 18 months turns to like 3-4 years, and it was difficult for me to continue my academic pathway and journey. And it became a kind of a very concern for me, because most times when you go back home, and people begin to ask you that, how are you doing now? You should have finished your masters for 2 years, 3 years, and the same questions keep popping up and coming to you, and you couldn't give answers to them. So, and because I'm very much aware about international opportunities for masters abroad, and I've been applying since 2014, since I graduated from my undergrad. And because I had the opportunity to grow up in a university environment, so I really know about all these masters application. And so, because very much my mom also got a scholarship in 2014 to study in the UK, so I was very much interested in following that kind of a pathway as well. So I kept applying, and luckily and due to preparation, right, in 2020, I was able to get the Commonwealth Shared Masters Scholarship to study in the UK with City University of London. And when I got here under the COVID-19 pandemic, it's not a kind of easy route, because
Yeah.
studying in the pandemic environment is it's not kind of easy, right? So, and at the end of the day, I was able to push through, graduate with a distinction, and because of that, I was able to secure a PhD funding as a graduate teaching assistant here at Sheffield Hallam University to carry out my research. So that's just like a summary of the journey so far. Journey of over 12 years now, and there's back and forth, up and down. Times whereby you want to give up, times whereby you want to keep on fighting, times whereby you want to stay and prove yourself, time whereby you feel like, oh, I'm tired, I should just go into the field and start working, making money. And so that's why I said it's a roller coaster, and it's not a one-way fix it all. So yeah, so I think that's all for now. Thanks so
Wow,
much.
wow, wow, wow. That's a wonderful story. I think you should go write a book so that people can actually patronize you.
Maybe I should take
I guess you might not remember, during your master's program in University of Benin, probably maybe you can remember, that's where we met, and you actually introduced me into volunteering with Iyali then, when you were trying to, I guess you remember back then.
Yeah,
So
sure.
so you also going to tell us how you were able to balance your academics and also your volunteering work. But before that time, I want Miss Ojetunde Mercy to also just tell the audience how the journey has been so far from your undergraduate program. I have my own story to tell too. Everybody has their challenges too. So your secondary school, your undergraduate, and also your stay here in Scotland. How has it been? How were you able to scale through? And just let us know so that people can actually learn from it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Okay. So, what has actually always worked for me was that I was always writing the vision. There is this passage in the Bible, Habakkuk 2 verse 2. He said, write the vision and make it. I was always writing down things. Even at times I look at the paper, I'll be like, is it me that just wrote this? Like, this is just too big for me. But I just believed in myself, and I believe that someday something good is going to come out of it. So
Yeah, yes.
I was always writing down. I was always making plans, even if it was seeming like, oh, no, you can't achieve this now. But I was just writing down. So while in secondary school, I was like, oh, I want to become a doctor. I want to do this. I was working so hard because I know, for you to be studying medicine in a school, you must be very good, and you must know how to read. You must know how to study hard, so that you can come out well, you can finish well. So that was my motivation then during my secondary school. So I was reading, making sure that I do well in classes and also write exams. I took my WAEC, I took GCE exams, and thank God for my parents, thank God for the relationship I also had with God. I knew God at a very tender age, and it also helped me while I was growing up. So when it came to the time that, okay, I need to get into the university, okay, I think I finished my secondary school in 2012, and then I had to get into the university. But I was like, I want to study medicine. It is medicine I want to study. But one thing we failed to forget, to remember, is that God has plans for everybody. God knows everything all, and except you know him, except you reach out to him, you might not find it so easy while you're going through the journey. So you need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're going through in life, so that as you move through, you have somebody that has told you, okay, this is what I want you to do, and you always go back to him to say, oh, this is not so easy. It has not really been easy. The journey has not been easy so far. So to cut the long story short, I eventually entered the university, but I gained admission to study microbiology at Osun State University. That was never the plan. Like, I never thought about it. Going to school, sounded so strange, but I was just like, Osun State University. I was like, oh, where did I hear Osun State University from? But okay, I said that's fine. When I had to enter, you know, but then when I got in, I was like, no, I'm still going to study this medicine. You people cannot do anything. I'm just going to study medicine. So not until like I just got arrested, I was like, no, this is just the calling, you just have to face it. And by the grace of God, I'm doing well in it. So, well, fast forward to when I was in the university, I was still with my medicine dream and all, but I was like, okay, I have to do this course well. Since I'm studying microbiology, I have to study hard, I have to come out well. So irrespective of the course you're studying, irrespective of whatever, some people say, oh, medicine is the course now, engineering is the thing now. But irrespective of the course you study, you just have to have that mindset that I must finish well, I must graduate. There are actually opportunities, for you to move on in life. So then I was hearing microbiologists, and they will end up in becoming teachers. They will end up in secondary school. I was like, no, that's not me. So if other persons are ending up becoming teachers, secondary school teachers, no, that's not going to be my own case, because I think I had a clear idea, a clear vision of where I am going to later. So but then I was still like, doctor must be added to whatever I'm doing. So that has actually been the motivation and the dream that one day I will soon become one. So I fast forward to the university days. I was reading. It was a triangle lifestyle for me, from school to church, back home and all like that. So I was studying hard, and by the grace of God, when I entered the university, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, I was always setting goals. I was always writing down, okay, what do you want? Which grade do I want to have for this course? So I had an idea of the courses I'm to take in a semester. So I write down the grades, 90. I don't care if I just write it, 90A, 95A. It might not seem achievable, but at times there's actually power to, they actually there's a power, in whatever you write. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but it's very important that you write down some certain things, and it actually helps you to keep going. It's as you are running, you're going through the notes, and you are just it's kind of stick to your subconscious mind that, oh, I think I need to do well, I need to meet up to all this. So I was reading, I was setting goals. I never had the idea or the mindset to write B in any of my courses. So even though at some point I was having A's all around and maybe 2B's, A's and A's, but I eventually I finished with a first class. But then I did not have so much idea, so much exposure about scholarships outside the country and all. So just little ideas. So I did not really know what to do. But then I was finding myself doing some things, engaging in volunteering activities, engaging in leadership roles, and it really helped me during that period. And then I had to go for my industrial training. During when I was thinking of where to do my industrial training, so it was like, okay, maybe I should go to the hospital, maybe I should go to research institute and all like that. But God took control. God opened the way for me, and I found myself at the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, and my eyes opened to a lot of things as a microbiologist, that there are opportunities for microbiologists. Why are people say microbiologists eventually end up being secondary school teachers? So my eyes opened to a lot of things. My eyes opened to a lot of research, and it was really so nice, having that kind of exposure. So, and then I was just working. So when I returned back to the university, because the industrial training was for 6 months, that's the second semester of 300 level, I went back to the university and also had that mindset that I must finish well. So during my 400 level, it was a lot for me because I had to work on my projects. I also took on a leadership position in an organization. So it was a whole lot of work for me, but I was not having time for other things. But then I just had to concentrate and make sure that I finish it. I just had the mindset that I want to finish with a first class. I want to finish with a first class. And by God's grace, I was able to finish with a first class, and eventually I was on the journey of masters. I want to do masters,
Yeah.
and then my mom was like, "Okay, UI is there. This is there." But then I was always writing down everything I want to achieve in life. Like I was always like, if I can show you, some of my books, if I you'd be amazed that at your age and you just have all this all planned out. So, I just said I want to go for my graduate programs. I wrote it down. I want to go for my MSc PhD abroad. Nobody's sponsoring this except maybe international organizations or something. So I had that mindset that my parents are not going to sponsor me for MSc, they're not going to sponsor me for my PhD. So, and that was what kept me. I don't know if they know about this, but that was what kept me going. So when my mom was like, okay, masters, UI, this, that, I said, I'm not doing though. You should not. So eventually, I had to apply for the UI, this thing, and then, took up the form. But my mind was like, no, I am not just doing, I'm studying outside the country for my masters or whatever, PhD. So, eventually I started, applying and applying. Journey was not so easy. I started my application in 2019 before, okay, I finished NYC in 2020. So before I finished from NYC, I started my applications, and, I started with the United States because I had somebody that, went straight from BSc to PhD, studying engineering in the United States. So I was like, okay, I think that is possible. I started, contacting some persons. I was not really connected with a lot of people that had this idea, but I was just doing what I could do. I started researching, making my search on schools in Canada. Today I'm in Australia. Tomorrow I'm in this country. I was like, okay, so I started like that, and I applied, submitted some few applications, paid some money,
Yeah.
because then I had no idea, no exposure. But,
Wow.
I got rejected. It was not easy. I was like, God, after this NYC, I was supposed to like go straight for MSc. I don't know if I can just stay for 1 year again, and then, oh God, it's going to. So I just I just started applications. When I received the rejections, I started my applications again. Tomorrow I'm in Australia. Today I'm this. I will send some cold emails to some professors. Till today they've not responded. But
Don't worry, they will still respond to you. They will still respond.
but that did not stop me,
Yeah,
from those dreams that
yeah,
I had, from
rejection.
those. Yeah. So I kept on pushing. And eventually, by God's grace, in 2020, I got the I Scholar Initiative Scholarship. So when I got it, I was like, wow, really? So for me to be among the first the 50 students that were selected for the scholarship, then there's something that, that is inside that, okay, I think I can do better. So that's really kind of motivated me, to do more. So after my NYC, I went back to Nigerian Institute of Medical Research to garner more experience, and then while I was there, to God be the glory, they brought the next generation sequencer. They brought a lot of things. I was able to learn a lot of things. I think that was also what boosted my applications because of the experience I garnered there during that 1 year, So, and then in 2020, I started my application. I submitted to like 2 schools. I also got rejected. I was like, what is happening? So, but in 2021, I was like, okay, this is another opportunity. Let me look at it and submit my application, like a very good one. So I was sitting down with the whole research work, because that 1 year of research at Nigerian Institute of Medical Research was not so easy, because I was from morning to night, lab, do this, do that. And then I got onto a clinical trial project. So it was not so very easy for me. So, but then I still had the mind that I want to study outside the country with sponsorship from an international organization, but not from my parents. So I started writing. I'll sit down all day. I actually wrote my Commonwealth essays myself. I reviewed myself So I was making use of some tools like the Grammarly. I was writing. Because I made the decision late because I was thinking of going to the US straight. So, but then God has plans and God has His way of doing things. So I was just sitting down morning and night writing my essays, reading, writing, and then I submitted my application, and eventually they got back to me. I've been nominated. So
Wow.
it was when I got
Wow.
the nomination news, I was like, wow, this is good. I was so happy. And here I am today by the grace of God. You
Mm.
know, I just thank God for the journey thus far. It has not really been an easy one.
Wow.
But I kept on moving because I had a dream, I had a desire, I had something I want to get at the end of the day. So I just kept on pursuing it. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Well, I don't know if I should cry or I should smile. That was a wonderful story, seriously. So if you're following us, you observe that there's there are a lot of things that is common between our two speakers. One, they had what they wanted to study, but along the line they changed. So that's a lesson for each and every one of us out there. Peradventure, what you want to study is not given to you. That's not a license for you to just write off what you're doing. That my one of my pastors will always tell me back then that if you wanted to study a particular course and jam now decide to jam you and give you another course, and you get to that same department you didn't read, you now fail and come out with a very good bad result, that is double tragedy. So if we look at all these things clearly, I also had the same challenge when I was growing up after my secondary school. In fact, mine was a pitiable state because I came up from a background that they were all graduates then. As one of the young boys in the family, so I'm expected to also be a graduate. Imagine. So after my secondary school, I finished secondary school by the grace of God. Let me just use that one because I was just doing it. I wasn't a serious type during my undergraduate program, my secondary school program. Sorry. So it was when I finished secondary school. I wrote my first jam and my first WAEC the same year. I got 279 in my jam and my WAEC. Mathematics and literature said, Timothy, you have to wait. The first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year. In fact, I got frustrated, but I did not stop. That's what I want to point out of it. I did not stop. I kept pushing. So the fourth year, I finally got admission to a polytechnic. So that was supposed to be a discouragement on my part. But when I got to that polytechnic, I told myself, this might be my starting point, but I'm not going to end there. I will continue and get to where God wants me to get to. So along the line, I just continued. And one of my lecturers then, in fact, she has been a mother. So she just said, Timothy, you are not a product of this school. If after your national diploma, don't come back here. I did that after my national diploma. I was still doing my ND before I took my direct entry straight to University of Benin. After my, I got there, was doing my program. After that, before I knew it, God was just doing it. So that delay never affected anything about me because though it was supposed to be a delay, but it was a stepping stone for me to get to where I was going to. So thank you very much for that story, Mr. Jetude Mercy. So now to you, Mr. Oluwaferami. I guess along the line you had challenges. So please, I want us to be very, very brief because of time, so that we have a lot to still cover. So what were your challenges when you along the last year moving through this journey? What was the challenges?
So thank you very
Sorry,
much.
how were you able to overcome the challenges too? Just do them together.
Okay, so thank you. I think most times as a non-STEM student, right, there's this challenge of like for myself being a graduate of mass communication because
Sorry,
the
please,
way
I don't
mass,
know. You said non-STEM. Can you tell
okay,
us what it means?
so non-STEM is people who are not studying science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right? So non-STEM are basically social sciences, arts, and humanities. So those people who find themselves in that category. So that's non-STEM. So as a mass communication student, mass communication is so diverse. We have journalism, broadcasting, we have public relation, we have media relation, we have so many things under mass communication. So the foresight of what I really want for myself was not really there at that stage, because I did my IT at News Agency of Nigeria in Abuja in the newspaper environment. Afterwards, I went to Futa Radio to work as a news desk officer. So broadcasting, newspaper, I did not really know which one to go for. Then at the end of the day, I realized that, you know what, I didn't even like all this broadcasting, talking about people's story and not being able to give them to contribute to the solution. So it was like a kind of some kind of indecisions that I have to battle with. But along the line, I knew that there was something about me which is trying to communicate about development, right? So and luckily, because I started my volunteering immediately I finished my undergrad in 2015, 2016. So I just go there, volunteer with and it was first an agribusiness NGO. So volunteer, talk about agribusiness, talk about how to bring youth back into the farming environment. I saw something about it, then I didn't know that it was development communication that I was trying to do. Trying to advocate for youth to come back to farm, try to show them precision farming techniques and what have you. And it was kind of in the process, then I got the yearly RSC
Yeah.
award to go to Ghana in 2018 to go and have the fellowship program sponsored by the US government. And it was there that I met young people like myself. Then
Mm.
I begin to interact with them. I begin to see what young people are capable of doing. Then I begin to look at myself, have some kind of insights about my life. Like, look at your life. What have you been doing with your life? All this while you need to sit up and make a plan for your life. And that is where I came about the grow model. The grow model is talking about a master plan that you can use to plan your life, your academic life, your professional life, your spiritual life, marital life, financial life, whatever you want to plan. So in that 2018, I planned my life about my academic life. I wrote it down using G for goal, R for realities, O for opportunities, then W for will or way forward. So the goal is, what do I want to become? What is
Mm.
my goal for my academic life? What is my goal for my professional life? What is my goal for my personal life? So I began to write it down. What would I love to become in my academic? Oh, I would love to become a professor in international development, a professor in sociology or in a related field. Then then I went to become, okay, what is the reality? Okay, I'm doing a master's at the moment, or I just finished my undergrad. Then I don't have the money to access maybe future studies. Then that is my reality at that moment. Then what are the options that I have to, right? Then I have the options of applying for scholarships. I have the options of maybe starting from a master's in Nigeria with the hope of getting a future scholarship in abroad. Then what is the way forward? Then the way forward is, maybe I have to keep applying. I have to do high ETS. I have to do GRE. I have to do TOEFL. So when I made that plan, I had a clearer pathway. So because I knew it came from a process of self-thought, reflection, and things that I really wanted to do. So it was me talking to myself, looking at myself in the mirror, that, okay, look at yourself, Oluwafemi, what do you want to become in life? What is your goal in life? How do you get there? What is the pathway to getting there? So that really opened my mind to the kind of pathway I want to follow. So since that time, I withdrew myself from the mixed multitude. What do I mean? I stopped following other people in their destiny paths. So I started focusing on my own paths, and anybody who is not aligned with my path, or who is not in tune with where I'm going to, definitely
Mhm.
is not allowed to journey with me. So
Right.
in the process, I started going for what I want. I did GRE even while I was doing my master's in Uniben. I went ahead to do my GRE and try to apply for scholarship in the US. Some I get partial funding, some I will get maybe 65% funding. But because the finance was not there, but I didn't even stop. I keep applying, trying to apply for Commonwealth, Chevney, MasterCard, other scholarship that we have there. But every time that I apply, right, and I receive rejection, I sit back and have like a sum of reflection. Okay, this is what I have done, and this is why I was rejected. Maybe because I don't have enough leadership skills. I don't have enough volunteering skills. I don't have enough work experience. Or okay, I need publication because that is what some people are talking about. Then I need to get a publication. Oh, I need my SOP to be top notch. I need to know how to draft a proper SOP, how to put my hook, how to sell myself, right? The power of storytelling. So I had to learn all these things myself, then follow people as well who have come ahead of me. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, look at people in those universities who have access to where I'm going to, connect with them on LinkedIn, connect to them on Twitter, and follow them, read their story, like a kind of unseen mentorship program for myself. So I look at their life, look at what they are doing, how they tell their story, what they're talking about. Then I try to put it down, write it down, and use my own words to write it down as well. So along the line, lot of rejection professionally, trying to gain experience, lot of rejection. And you trust me, the Nigerian environment after your transition from the university to the work environment is a difficult process.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do some exams, you will not be allowed to see your or your result for the exam. I can recall I did exam with DPR, I did exam with KPMG, I did exam with PSET Kusin, I did exam NNPC, so many exams, trying to get a graduate role, but it was not just coming through. Then I knew that there's something wrong with the system, and I swear then I need to do better, right? Because I know that Nigeria is a competition itself, and you have to do better. You have to stand out than other people that you are competing with. So all these things was easy for me to do because I already had that plan through my grow model that I developed for myself. So anytime I'm derailing from that pathway, I will come back to my grow model and look at what do I want to become. So it's not like, oh, today I want to become an IT maybe expert. Then tomorrow I see people going into maybe medicine, or I see people going switching into accounting, or people switching to another field. I say, oh, I want to be like them because there's money there. No, 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 no. Because of my grow model, I stick to that my model. Then I start working towards my plan, and because of that, I have this kind of self-reflection over time. If I write essay, apply for, I think I've been applying for Chevney, Commonwealth, and Mastercard since 2014, 2015. So every time I applied and I receive another rejection, I will sit back. I say, "Oh, okay, that's good. That means I'm doing something for me to be rejected, right?" So then I will go ahead, with, look at my essay, look at my SOP, look at what went wrong, and trust me, to get admission into the UK is not it's not difficult, right? You can get admission, but the problem is, how do you get funded? How do you get the funding? So I started looking at all these things, then write another essay, write another SOP, and with time I begin to look at how to engage more. And one thing that I will say that really helped me a lot is that my engagement with yearly RSC. I can tell you categorically that since I attended that fellowship program, my friends change, right? The people I begin to work with, they change. The people I begin to reason with, they change. The people I begin to follow, to do things together, they change, because I now saw that there are different segments of young people out there. We have people
Yes.
who are
Yes.
focused and goal oriented. We have people who just want to be the party type, go out while away their lives and what have you. And we have people who don't really know what they are doing. So I have to make myself and pitch my tent towards people that I know that they are goal oriented. And this is one thing, right? If you are following people who are goal oriented, even though you don't have what to do at the moment, because you are among them, within them, there's always a possibility that along the line they will carry you along, because they'll be pushing you. If you see your friends getting scholarship, if you see your friends getting award, going for fellowship opportunities up and down, you won't be the last man standing, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
that is
true.
one of the things that really influenced me to just make sure that, okay, I pitch my tent towards people that I know they're working in the development sector, working with big organizations, people who are working on UN projects. And before you know it, I also have the idea of what really happens and how to go about my own pathway, and I followed it. And at the end of the day, even still to today.
Oh, I think we are having a network issue there. That in fact that's hot. So our guest will be coming back as soon as possible. So our technical team, they are currently working on it to make sure they bring our guest back. So before our guests will return, please let's be mindful of time too. Please, Ms. Ojetunde Mercy, if you, I think there's some person asking questions who get to the questions at times so that they can answer. So, what's, I observed something. So many students during their the issue of social media is actually a big problem when it comes to preparing for their life endeavor academically and all that. So, what is the place of social media in your preparation for everything that you have to face in life?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, one thing that people don't know is that the future is very expensive. So you have to be disciplined. Yeah, the social media, as as it has its own advantage, it has its own disadvantage, or let me say disadvantages, advantages.
That's
But
discipline.
it, but the only thing here is that people should know how to use it very well.
Yeah,
So while I got onto, okay, it was through social media. That was the WhatsApp. I got to know about iScholar initiative. I had to go through the application process and all like that. And I looked at, okay, I saw I was eligible for it. So I applied, and eventually I had to submit my applications. Well, I did not know anybody who got the scholarship at that point, but I just submitted my application based on the guidelines that were given in that group chat. I was on a group chat, and it was through WhatsApp. So social media, I think students should make good use of these platforms, for their own good. So while I was in the process, I made use of my WhatsApp, Google. I was always checking out for information, because then it was like I was the only one there, and not too many persons around me actually know about scholarships, know about things. So I was just the only one there. Thank God for the WhatsApp groups that I was on, and then they were giving out some useful information on scholarships and all like that. So I was getting a lot of information what to do, and then I now discovered that, the first three applications I submitted while I started the journey, even if I was the graduate school coordinator, maybe I would not actually accept the application, because I just wrote it. Though some few persons went through it, some few persons reviewed it, but I just felt that, with the exposure and the idea I have, I think I should have written better. I should have, done a lot of things. So that was what even made me go back to Nigeria instead of medical research. I volunteered in a lot of research. I put that down in my CV. I tried to sell myself for the next applications that I was going to do. So, you know, social media, it's a very good one. Students should maximize its use. They shouldn't be spending so much time on Instagram,
Yeah.
TikToks and all that. There's a way you can actually benefit from these platforms like Twitter. There are actually a lot of information on Twitter. So one thing, I think the most important thing here is that people should know their purpose in life. People should have a desire. People should plan, because it's like, if you don't plan, if you don't prepare to plan yourself, then it's like you're preparing to fail.
That's
So
true.
you have to plan. You have to know what you want. You have to know what you have to have a desire. So I think that pushes people to do more. So if you don't have a purpose, if you've not discovered your purpose in life, or if you don't have a desire, you'll just be using whatever comes your way, because maybe you want to fit into the trend, or you just want to do anything you want to do because there's nothing that is driving you. But I feel your desire, your dreams, your aspirations will kind of drive you to do more. So then, because I had that vision that, no, I have to just get a scholarship. Like I said, I don't want my parents to sponsor me for my graduate studies. I said no, anyhow it's gonna come. I don't care. I don't just want them to sponsor my graduate studies. So, and then that was what pushed me to to get on to other social media platforms. Let me see what they are doing, how to write the SOPs, how to write essays. So I was looking out at some YouTube videos. So instead of looking out the YouTube videos to watch some other things that might not be helpful to you. I feel you should be able to use this all these social media
To
platforms
develop yourself.
to develop yourself, and on the long run it's going to actually make a very good impact on
Thank
whatever
you very much,
you're into.
Miss Ojetunde Messi. Before we continue, we're going to go on a 30 seconds break. We'll be right back. Thank you very much. Okay, you are welcome back to the program, The Power of Preparation 1.0. Mr. Oluwaferami, can you tell us the place of, industrial training when you're going for your industrial training? Like, so many young people nowadays, they feel industrial training is a time, whether 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, they just feel it's a time for you to relax yourself from the academic all the everything has to do with academics, everything that has to do with reading. They don't want to go to work. Everything is just let me relax. So can you tell us the place of where industrial training has a place in our preparation life? Because if I don't know, you do understand the question I am asking? Okay, so can you go ahead, sir? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. So let me start by saying this, right? Nothing is worse, right? More
Okay,
than
so,
missing
sorry,
your
please. As before you give us that, somebody asked a question. I don't know if you can just respond to it. It's on your screen there. You
okay.
talked about grow model, so I
Yeah,
think
okay.
somebody is
Yeah. So the grow model is like a template for designing a kind of a pathway for yourself, or and trying to design your career goal, your future goal in essence. So under the goal is the G is for the goal. What is your goal? Your specific goal. Is it measurable? Is it achievable? So for instance, like I said, under my own, I said for my career, for my academic life, I said I want to become a professor. So a professor in the field of social science, maybe for in sociology, international communication, in sociology, in economic and social research. But I know that I want to become a professor. So my research is going to direct me to the kind of professor I'm going to become at the end of the day. Then under the reality, is the have stand for reality, right? Reality is trying to assess yourself. Where am I? Uh, where have I gone to so far? What have I been able to achieve so far? So what is your current situation at the moment? Then how is that current situation affecting your goal? Right, so you have to look at so many things in that your reality. Maybe I don't have the financial resources, I don't have maybe the good maybe great to access scholarship or to access some certain things. And then how much control do you have over the outcome of what that your goal can be? Maybe for instance, I told you when I was doing in my early days, my dad wanted me to leave the commercial class to go to the art class, so I don't have control over it because I'm not the one paying my tuition fee. Right? Those are your present reality that some things you don't have control over. So you have to discuss about that and write that down as well. Then the option is what you now is the what's the O stands for the options. What else can you do? Right? What other options do you have? At the moment, because of your present realities, what options do you have? Like the other speaker said that she told herself that she won't allow her parent to pay for her masters, so the other option she had was to just make sure she get a scholarship. So for her, that is her options that she explored. Then what other idea can you prefer? What other things can you do to make sure that you achieve that your goal that you are looking forward to? Then the W stand for way forward or will. What are you going to do? Because you've known that is your goal, that is your reality, that is the options available. Then what is the way forward? Then your way forward is what actions are you going to take? Right? For me, I said I'm going to do my IETLs, do my GRE, learn how to write SOP, go and volunteer, learn how to carry out research and publish a paper, or improve my leadership skills. That means attending leadership programs like the yearly RSC, joining the yearly network in Nigeria to meet with other leaders and attend the events, right? And volunteering skills as well. So all these things are what the grow model will enable you to highlight. So it's like a kind of self-reflection journey, a journey of self, trying to assess yourself, look at your strengths and weaknesses, like carrying out a SWOT analysis, then looking at your threats, then what are the opportunities that you have to explore. So basically, that is what the grow model we help you to do. And after doing it, you can decide to place it on your wall. Like that is what I did. I placed it on my wall. So every morning I look at my goal for my academic life, my career. I want to work with the UN. I know that that is where I'm going to. So nothing is going to change my goal, because that is what I know I want for myself. In my financial life, I know this is what I want, the kind of business I want to go into. So I'm seeing that every morning that I'm waking up. Oh, okay. This is where I'm joining towards, and that is how the grow model will help you. So going back to the question that was asked about the importance of IT and how students have not really been able to make use of it. Like I was going to say that nothing is worse, right, than missing an opportunity that could have changed your life. Nothing is worse, right, than missing an opportunity that could have changed your life. You don't know when that opportunity is going to come. You don't know when you're going to meet that opportunity. You don't know when you're going to meet that connection that is going to make sure that you click, or you connect to the next steps of your life. Life is in stages. This preparation we are talking about, you don't just start one day and start preparing, right? It's just like a journey. If you want to journey from Nigeria to the UK, you have to take some process. You have to apply for your passport. From the passport, try and apply for maybe a visitor's visa, a student visa. From there, you have to go and buy your ticket, book your ticket. From there, you have to go to the airport. So it's a process, gradual process so you don't know if you miss any of those process, right? It can affect the trajectory of your life. So and under the as an undergrad student, where you do your high tea really matters, right? Some people, because they don't really want to go to a place whereby they're going to have that rigorous training, they just decide to go to anywhere for the high tea where they're going to be free. But you've forgotten that some people, it was during their high tea that they discovered themselves. They discovered the opportunity, that the potential of who they can be, right? For myself, I did my high tea at the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja, and I can tell you the people I met, the politicians I met, I was able to have this kind of high hope now of what the environment is. So I was able to come out from my immediate environment, go out there, see how things are, see how policymakers are thinking, see how the news that we're even generating, the news, how news are being framed, how news are being sold to the public, what is happening in the news environment. And this is obviously what is outside what I've been learning. Although I've been learning about news writing and reporting, the theoretical environment, but I went into the practical aspects now. So, and that gave me the leverage to know about to some extent content writing. And today I can just close my eyes and frame a content. I can develop content and write content and write so many. And I think under the space of 3 months, I was able to write over 50 news stories, that were published. And many of them, you don't even know that it was written by someone like as young as me. I think I was maybe 18 or 19 thereabout at that time. So what I'm saying is that high tea is so important that you don't joke with it, because you don't know where that IT is going to lead you to. Like and one thing I want young people to understand, that we are in a global competition, right? The
Yes.
world has changed from maybe you are competing with people in your local state, in your local country. You are competing on a global pedestrians now. So the world has shifted from maybe academic pursuit into a skilled economy. I'm doing research on the future of job, and I can categorically tell you that people are not looking for what you study again. They're looking for the skills you have
That you
gained.
have, yeah.
So what skills do you have? What skills do you possess? What can you add to our company? If I'm going to be paying you to work for me, what are you going to deliver, right? So high T is something that you must take seriously and make sure that you learn all the skills you are able to learn, because all these skills, you don't know when you're going to need them. And there's this saying that when preparation meets opportunity, it becomes success. Do you understand? When preparation meets opportunity is equal to success. So imagine you fail to prepare and that opportunity now comes your way. That means you have nothing to attack to assess that opportunity.
That's
So that
true.
is why where you do your high tea, you should begin to be thinking about it. What do I want to become? Where do I want to do my high tea? Don't joke with it. Make sure that where you do your high tea, I know that the environment in Nigeria sometimes might not give you the opportunity to assess some places that you want to, but look inward. Use the grow model. Okay, if I'm not able to assess this place for my high tea, what other options do I have that will still make me to have that skills that I needed, right? So make sure that you list those places out and plan towards it. Submit. Like myself, when I got my high tea placement, I never knew anybody at this region of Nigeria. It's through connection and network. Okay, someone knows somebody, just put a call. Can you help my senior brother, junior brother with a placement? And I wrote letter. Oh, okay, fine, you can come over. So all those kind of things still work. So just make sure you plan all those places, because by the time you finish your high tea, right, this is it. You will come back and defend it in school. And let me tell you that the place of your high tea sometimes determines the kind of mark you are going to be awarded by your
That's
supervisors.
true. Yeah.
So whenever you come back and do your report and you're presenting, and maybe you just mention one unknown place, they will just look at you as this one. They will know that this one went to play during the high tea placement. So, but imagine you are coming from somewhere like maybe I've forgotten where she said she did a high tea, and they know that it's a government institution. They know that it's a very renowned institution. They know that you can't go to that kind of place and you go and play. And sometimes when they come to visit you during your high tea, they look at the environment, they look at your office environment, where you work, how you do things. So even from that moment, they're able to give you even a B. So what you just go and present and just go and have an A, right? So where you do your high tea really matters. Don't
Matters
joke
a
with
lot.
it. And where you serve as well really matters. Anywhere you find yourself, it matters. It's like a journey towards your future. You don't know why you are there, but you have to find out yourself why you are at that particular place. What can you get out from that particular place, and how can you add value to yourself and to other people in that particular place? And that is why you'll be able to forge ahead in your future endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaferami. You have actually spoken well. Well, our time is limited. We just have, I think, roughly 18 minutes to round off this program. But before we round up the program, we'll still have some few questions. Mr. Oluwaferami has actually dealt with the area of the industrial training, your service, where you serve, and also, so it is very, very important, I must say, because personally, when I was doing my 3 months IT during my ND, I did it in EBS, Edo Broadcasting Service. People were actually laughing. Why are you doing your IT in EBS? But I went there to learn. When I was doing my 6 months, I did it with the Nigeria Observer. That's one of the oldest newspaper in Benin. People are, why are you doing your? But that was where I learned the nitty-gritty of journalism. So if at least that period, in fact, I almost became one of the youngest editor in the Nigeria Observer. So I actually learned a lot. Where you're doing your IT is very, very important, and you must learn to be very, very focused, because that place might be a stepping stone to where you wish to go to in life. So, Miss Ojetunde Messi, what do you tell the people about the holiday? Now the Nigeria education is on strike for the public school and all that. So how do people spend their holiday? How do they spend their break? How do they spend their strike? How do they prepare for the opportunity ahead of them during this period? Please,
Okay.
you have to be very, very brief because of time. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, like I said earlier, something should drive you. Yeah. So whatever drives you kind of help you to forge ahead, and give you a kind of exposure to a lot of things. So during this period, since ASU is on strike, so I will kind of encourage students who want to maybe apply for scholarship opportunities or other opportunities, maybe in the business space or whatever. I think they should maximize this period, go through their lecture notes. I don't know what CGPAs they are on, so just kind of read, prepare ahead, apply, take online courses. Very important. There are some persons that you feel all these online courses are not just relevant. They are actually. So I know of some persons that have gotten scholarships by just taking few online courses, and maybe without publications even. So even though when I was applying, I had publications, I had volunteering experiences, leaderships, and the rest. But I feel if you are able to kind of set a goal for yourself and you know where you are headed, there are a lot of things you can explore. So you can take online courses during this period. You can engage in volunteering activities, take attend webinars, attend seminars, conferences. I don't mean just anyhow webinars or just anyhow conferences. All these webinars, all these seminars or conferences or workshops should be relevant to whatever you intend to do later in the future. So if you're going for, you're a biotechnology student or you're a microbiology student, you won't be attending a webinar in agriculture. Although or maybe if there's a correlation though, but you want to take courses, or you want to take online courses, you want to go for attend webinars that are relevant to
So
whatever
you're
dreams
studying, yeah.
thing you want to do in life. So I just feel this is a period that you can do a lot. If it's skills you want to learn, it's very good for you. Because here in the abroad, edu is expensive, this and that is expensive. Maybe you just want to learn some skills and skills. Yeah, that's good. But still, there's something that should drive you. If it's a scholarship you want, if you want to explore scholarship opportunities or other opportunities, look into those, requirements and see what they really need, and then you work towards it. So I think that's just where the preparation comes in. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss Mercy. That's wonderful. So, Mr. Oluwaferami, can you tell us the place of networking? The place of networking. Please, you have to be a little bit brief. The place of networking, where preparation meets with networking. What is said to be the result? Thank you very much, sir.
I think the place of networking is just like your mobile network that you use. So without your mobile network, you are cut off from so many things in life, right? You can't know what is happening out there. You just be back in the trenches, like people say out there, right? So you won't have a knowledge of what is happening. So this is it. A network is like a support system,
Yes, yes.
a support system that will help you to achieve your goals, achieve your aims, objective, and achieve your lifetime agenda. So, and we have different
Thank
levels of
you.
networking. So there are some networks that we have that will help you to access resources. So there are some network that you have that will help you to not just to access resources, but to access opportunities. Resources, they are just information that, okay, this information is available. Can apply for it? Those are resources. But there are some network that will help you to access opportunity, that will recommend you to opportunities. Oh, okay, I'm doing my PhD, for instance. I can say, okay, I want to recommend my friend for my PhD to my supervisor. So because I know that my friend, that's the power of networking, right? And we also have some networks that can even give you the how will I call it now? You just give you out to the world because of your relationship with with that network. And how do we form a network? It's very simple. Number one, we have networks such as the Yali network. For me, the Yali network is such a good place to start from, because
That's
this is
true.
what we are going to meet in the Yali network. You're going to meet young people like yourself with different backgrounds, academic backgrounds, skills, and everything, coming together to discuss about what they do and coming together to improve one another. So and there you begin to see people that are of like-minded, that are of like minds, that people that you know that, oh, this person is doing something like this, I can maybe partner with him. And I can tell you for free that throughout my volunteering experiences, right, most of them I got them when I was with Yali. So from volunteering with AgriSat, I moved to Yali network. I went to Yali RSC in 2018, came back from Accra. Then from there, I went to hold a position as a communication committee chair of the Nigeria Alumni Network. From there, my president recommended me to work on a UNODC EU project in Abuja. From there, I was recommended, just like that. From there, I got the opportunity to go for interview to to work with the UNDP Spotlight Initiative project. Even though I didn't get it, it was true because of that power of network and because of that journey of network and leadership experience that I've been gaining. I can't begin to tell you what I've been able to access because of network. I've been able to access global Goodwill Global Ambassador. I've been able to access places such as Atlas Core. I got to the final stage of Atlas Core. From the network, I was able to access more people that I know that are applying for Commonwealth Scholarship, Chevening Scholarship, Mastercard Scholarship. And like I told you, most of my friends today, they are goal people that are of similar like mind. So you cannot limit the power of network. Just know where you are going to. Look at what are the kind of groups of people, gathering of like minds that you can join yourself to, and make sure that you acquaint yourself with them and you continue the journey with them. Trust me, if you don't achieve anything in the next 6 months, 1 year, that means you're in the wrong network of group of people. Thank you so much.
Very much, Mr. Oluwaferami. Thank you very much for that answer. So if you listened very well, you discover that network is very, very important in anything we are doing. I think you made an example of our line, our phone. So when you're cut off from network, you are off totally. There's a place of network in whatever we are doing. Networking, it can be in your school. As a young boy, as a young girl, as an average man and woman, you're planning to access a lot of opportunities. You don't have a good relationship with your lecturers. You don't have good relationship with your co-students. If you're not getting the opportunities and they need a referencing from you, where will you get it? I've communicated with some persons who tell me, "Oh, Timothy, I want to actually do that. I want to do that." Okay, you need a reference from one of your lecturers. Back then in school, they will tell me, I don't have any relationship with my lecturers. So that is where networking comes in. You need to have a good network system, meet with people, have this mindset of always getting to know people very well. It might not be the first time, but when you meet them for the very first time, get to collect their contact, communicate with them, interact with them, chat with them. That is where the social media comes in. You go to LinkedIn, you see their profile. Some of us, you're professional in your field, but you are not on LinkedIn. Go to LinkedIn, go and see what young boys. I was shocked when somebody was telling me a few days that secondary school students, they are now on LinkedIn. So they are there just to showcase what they think they can do. So the young boys and young girls out there, you're not too young to associate yourself with all these things. It's very, very important we get involved. Network with people. Those you meet, you might not meet them. There are some persons I've met once. I'm sure I'm not going to meet them again in life, but I have their contact. We chat online, we communicate, we do a lot of things together. So today, when I want to do business with somebody in Canada, I can actually just start. Okay, I met this person some years ago. That's where networking comes in. So networking is very, very important in whatever you are doing. So Miss Mercy Oyetunde, please, can you tell us, how do you think people can sell themselves to the outside world? How do you sell yourself? In this present dispensation, people cannot actually sell themselves. A problem. So how do you sell yourself? Writing a code, email, and all that. How do you think people can actually do that? Please be brief. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So, like the other speaker said we're in a world of competition. Everybody's, trying to put him or herself at a competitive advantage. So, since the competition is so high, and you are competing with both local and international persons, so you just have to. You shouldn't be humble in maybe whatever applications you are submitting. Oh, let me just try to, so that they won't say I'm just this girl is just too humble. That no, maybe this girl is just too proud or something.
Humble, you're writing.
You don't. It's not about being proud. It's about what you've worked for. You should be proud of what you've done. You should be proud of the person you are becoming. So, and that should also apply in your, when you are writing your statement of purpose, or you are throwing in any applications for scholarship. Everything that you have done, every relevant thing you have done, either volunteering, either leadership, either in maybe your academics. If you finish with a first class, if you are told to write your CGPA, put it there. Put every possible thing there. So before you can actually do that, you need to read the requirements. You need to look at what they're actually looking for, get information from persons that maybe might have done something similar or might have applied to something similar as what you want to apply for. And then you try to put in every necessary information, whatever skills, relevant skills you have garnered. Now if you notice, I've been putting in relevant. So whatever relevant skills you have acquired, whatever relevant maybe volunteering roles you've taken or leadership or whatever, make sure that you put it in your essays. So this is actually dependent on the prompts of the essay. So these essays have different prompts, and then you should be able to approach it in the way that is expected of you. So in your essays, in your statement of purpose, don't try to be humble. It's a competition. You don't know who you are competing with. Chinese, you are competing with Indians, you are competing with a lot of people in in every part of the world. So it's a global competition. So just try as much as possible to put in every possible thing to make yourself competitive. Thank you. Your mic is muted.
Thank you very much. I actually forgot that. I think the technical team should be disciplined. So, okay, the last question before we have our final word for today, Mr. Oluwaferami, how do you think people can access global opportunities? Thank you.
Thanks so much. I think this is it, right? If I'm going to Lagos and I don't know how to get to Lagos, I think the first thing I should do is to ask, right? So that is the where the starting point you should come from. You ask yourself, what do I want? Then how do I get to where I'm going to? So, for instance, recently I made a post about taking the baby steps. When a baby is giving birth to, that baby don't just start running. So if you want to access global opportunities, start taking the baby steps. And what are that baby step? For instance, if I want to find a scholarship on maybe international communication, I will just go on my Google international communication in the US, in the UK. You will see a list, so many lists of schools that will come out. Then you start filtering from there and going to go to the school website and checking it. That's number one. Then number two, how do you now prepare yourself for that particular scholarship to access that opportunity, even though it's fellowship programs? So this is it. You have seen the school, then you went to the website, write out the requirements. And why I'm saying you write out the requirement is that the requirement is going to tell you if you are eligible, you are qualified or not. And when you see the requirement, that is what you begin to run with. Okay, I have this ticket, I have this ticket, I have this ticket. Oh, I don't have this. They're asking for this. I don't have it. Then asterisk it. How do I get that? If you are not able to get that at that particular moment, then you can just say, okay, let me look for another school that is not asking for this kind of requirements. So that's number one. Then number two, today we have so many online platforms. Like I myself, or a couple of myself and some friends, we started this Scholars Collab online platform whereby we share opportunities. And on May 1st, we are going to be bringing scholars from the UK, Mastercard, Commonwealth scholars, Chevening scholar on our Twitter space to come and speak about their experience, right? On how they were able to apply for this scholarship and how they're able to get it and the opportunities that they've been able to access because of that scholarship. And because of this is it. If you have 1 years, right? 1 years will begin to open so many yeses for you. I know if you understand. So for me, my first years is attending yearly RSC program. And since then, if I want to say myself that look at if you see if I paint my experience for you in Yali, you think that maybe it's the same Yali that people attend to, right? So the power, you must know the power of storytelling. How do you tell your story, right? How do you sell your hook? And mind you, coming from an inside now, as an insider in the academic environment, if I see your first paragraph as a reviewer, it is going to tell me if I would love to continue reading that SOP or not. So your first paragraph matters a lot. In that first paragraph, how do you sell yourself? That is why we call it the hook, the pitch statement. How do you sell yourself? So if you want to access a global opportunity, these are the things you must know. How do you get that opportunity? Ask for information. Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Google it, keep Googling it. On Twitter, we have so many people on Twitter who have gone ahead of you in that particular maybe fellowship program or scholarship. Follow them, look at what they do. You don't need to even ask them questions. You don't even need to send them any email. Just look at their profile, look at what they do, look at how they do it, follow them. Go on LinkedIn, create a profile on LinkedIn if you don't have one. Go and just search PhD or student, master student in microbiology, in chemistry. You will see so many students in different universities across the globe. Follow them, look at their profile, look at what they've done, look at what they are doing. Then, like I said, follow scholarships pages, platform. Like I just mentioned one now, a Scholars Collab, whereby we post opportunities like frequently on scholarship opportunity in the UK, in the US, across the EU. And lastly, I want to say this on this platform, right? Never allow anybody, right, to put in your applications for you, to help you write your application. The least you can do is to write it yourself and give it out to somebody to review for you. So I will tell you this for free. Professors now are now aware that people pay people, right, to help them apply to write their scholarship application. And because of that, the process of interviews are now changing. So before there's no interview process for many scholarship applications, but because now that they know that people are being paid to do this for them, so they are now introducing interview. So after you submitted your essay, okay, you are selected, they now do interview for you because they know that people don't really have that skills that they said they possess at the end of the day because someone was paid to write it on their behalf. So any opportunity you want to access, make sure you write it yourself. Even though you are not selected, it's a process for you. You are able to reflect on yourself, reflect on your ability, reflect on what you can do and what you are doing and how you can get to where you are going to. So global opportunities, sometimes it may be difficult to access, but once you get one yes, right, you will see that other things will begin to open for you, because by the time you access one opportunity, you meet people there, you connect with people there, you network with people there, and by the time you apply for another opportunity, you are going to mention that program. So this is it. It's like an environment, right? If I know somebody who knows another person, right? So if I know somebody who is a Yali member, I can easily know that, oh, this person, I know Yali, so this person must be good. If I know somebody who's a Commonwealth scholar, I know Commonwealth, I know that this person might be good. So if I'm assessing an application and that person is mentioning Yali, Commonwealth, I can easily put aside that application, that I'm going to pay attention to that application and give that person a chance. So it's a matter of who knows. So those are the politics and dynamics of assessing global opportunities. And at the undergraduate level, before I round on, let me quickly say, at the undergraduate level, there's so many things you can do. So number one, from local opportunities, there are local scholarship in your state you can say, have access to. There's this NNPC scholarship, there's NLG scholarship that you can have access to. There are university scholarship, depending on your particular grade, you can have access to. There are TEDx events that are being held at state level in Nigeria, in your school environment. Join them. There are so many forums for undergraduate students at the local level that you can join and attend those seminars, like the other colleagues said, and attend those events. Those are preparation to accessing global opportunities. So by the time you are saying you have attended TEDx events, attended maybe global shapers events, you have attended maybe yearly events, somebody who is reading that have the knowledge that this person has been building he or herself over the time, over the years. So is now I'm now able to, okay, let me give him the opportunity to come and have this scholarship. Let me give her the opportunity to have this scholarship. And once you have that scholarship, trust me, especially if you're in the UK, the US, or EU countries, the sky is your limit, because from the UK you can cross to the US easily, from the EU you can cross to Canada easily, because they know that this person, before Commonwealth, before Chevening, before iScholar could select you to have that scholarship, that means they saw something in you. So the process of my reviews has even been made easy, because I'm not starting from the scratch to know about you. Somebody has done it already. So I can say, okay, let me give this lady the opportunity for this PhD. Let me give the young guy the opportunity for this PhD or this opportunity. And also look for fellowship opportunities you can attend. We have yearly, we have African change makers fellowship. Right from your undergraduate level, start attending this fellowship, start going for conferences abroad, right? Start going for poster presentation, apply for it, go online, search for it. or the conferences in microbiology as an undergraduate student, WCW. There's so many programs for undergraduate students that you can apply to, fellowship that will really help you to access. I know somebody, I think Eddie from Uniben. I don't know if anybody knows about Eddie. I've heard about the name Eddie. Eddie is a medical student. Is now a doctor, a graduate of doctor. He has been attending programs, events in the US right from his when he was in medical school, because what he has been accessing those fellowship, going to US, going to other countries, to attend fellowship and presentation. So it's easy for me, if I'm a reviewer, to look at that profile and said, oh, this guy is really good. He has been applying this, going for this fellowship at the undergraduate level. He has access to this scholarship, has access to this platform. Then I can easily trust him with my money. And then lastly, I will just say that imagine someone giving you 15 to 18 million naira to come and study abroad. You should know that before that person should give you that particular amount of money, you should know that is that person really knows what he or she wants to commit into your life. So for somebody to give you like 90 million naira to come and do a PhD abroad, you should know that the person really has really gone through your profile, try to know, is this person worth it? Can I commit 90 million naira to this person's life for 4 years? You should know that it's not a child's play. So for you to access that kind of opportunity, you must plan as if your life depends on it. And when you plan, you will never fail. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oluwaferami Adeyemo. Maybe there's something you didn't say about Eddie. Eddie is also a travel agent. The guy, though a medical doctor, but he's just too good in other areas. So he has been also of a blessing to each and every one of us. So lastly, I want to thank you for your time this evening. I think we are going to have the second part of this meeting because we still have a lot of questions to ask, and our audience, they are still waiting for a lot of things to be said. But time is no longer on our side. As I said, we're still going to have a second part of this. This meeting is a weekly program. Next week, we are coming up. Tomorrow, you're going to be seeing the flyer. Next week, you're coming out with another meeting again for next week, Sunday. It's just for us to have this orientation and for us to also know that everything is possible. You can be in your undergraduate program. You'll be attending fellowship abroad. So let me tell you this. There's no way you can attend fellowship abroad without your international passport. So young ones out there, the first thing, go and get your international passport. Be prepared. Change your orientation. Change your ideas. Change the way you think. Everything about you, change it. If possible, change your friends. That is what people don't actually know. Our speaker said something that the friends changed entirely. When you have the right set of persons as friends, then you're good to go. When you have the right sort of persons. Back then in my undergraduate program, I used to have somebody that would always try talking me down, telling me, I'm better than you, I'm all this, I'm all that. But along the line, I told myself, this guy is going to be a friend, but he's going to be a friend from distance. I pushed him aside. But that helped me to achieve a lot. And after a while, then we got talking again. So if possible for you to change your set of friends, to change those you're moving with, just because you want to achieve a particular goal, just because you want to get to a particular place, go ahead and do it. Your future is in your hands. Your future matters a lot to you. If you don't want your children to ask you tomorrow, Daddy, when others were making good use of their life, where were you? If you don't want your destiny tomorrow to also chase you, then this is the time for you to start. If there's any other time that you need to start, the time is now. So, Mrs. Ojetunde Messi, what is the last thing that you have to tell the audience before we go this evening?
Miss. Okay.
I think that's prophecy, so get ready.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So, the other speaker has said a lot. So, what I would say is that you should have a desire. Decide what you want. Don't try to fit into the trend. Discover your purpose in life. That's kind of help you to forge ahead, to drive you to whatever you've actually planned for your life. So there is no, like Steve Harvey will say, said there is no elevator to the top. You have to take the stairs.
Yes,
so you have to plan. You have to go through a lot. It's not going to be easy. Yeah, I won't I won't be here lying to you. It's not going to be easy. I won't say it is easy. So it's very easy for you to get there. Don't just be sleeping. And, no, I won't say that. So it is not going to be easy. You have to take the stairs. You have to go through a lot of things. You have to stay up at night, do a lot of reading, do a lot of research and all. But at the end, it's going to pay off. So discover your purpose in life, know what you want, decide, have a desire, plan towards it, prepare yourself. And most importantly, the God factor should also be part of your journey. Whatever step you take in life, you need to put God first. Very important. So that was what helped me while I was, going through. Even though it was, in fact, I cried a lot. I was like, oh, rejection, why? How? But I was just going back to God, that God, please just help me, favor me, and all like that. So God helped me through, because not so many people knew about a lot of things around me. So those that know, they just want you to be there because you are working a lot for them. But you just have to move. You have to pave way for yourself. So God was there for me, and I was always praying. I was always going back to Him, and He was always directing my steps. So let God order your steps. Let God direct you. Don't try to fit into the trend. Don't try to feel you're watching Instagram videos, all celebrities around. Yeah, you can be a celebrity. People can, clap for you someday. So, but you have to work for it. You have to work towards achieving your set goals. And you have to pray, study hard, and pray more. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that speech. Yeah, that's a wonderful one. So before we go this evening, Mr. Oluwa Ferami Adeyemo, please can you just give us your final word? Our audience, they are requesting that you people have to come back. So please, we have to plan for this again. Please, we'll have to plan for this again. To power preparation, probably 2.0 or 3.0. So Mr. Oluwa Ferami, can you tell us what do you have to tell the audience before you go this evening?
So I will just say this, right? If you don't work hard now, right, you will do hard work, like hard work when you grow. So if you don't work hard as a young man now, you will do hard work when you grow old. And this is it. Uh, Sometimes you might need to do what you have to do, not what you want to do. So sometimes you might need to do what you have to do, not what you want to do. So be ready to go out of your immediate environment, of your comfort zone. Comfort zone. Be ready to stretch yourself, right? We are young. There's nothing we are not capable of doing. So stretch yourself as much as you can, but don't burn out. But be able to explore so many things. In your 20s, in your 30s, that is the time. This is the time. That is why we call it youthful age. You are there to explore. Do so many things as much as you can. Spread your bread upon many words. And like Messi have said, you can never ignore the place of God. Like for myself, my life began to change in 2016 when I had that personal encounter with God, and since then I can tell you, salvation experience brings blessing. It brings sense into your life, because nonsense is what I've been living before. I've been living a life of nonsense, right? So when God now comes in with salvation, it brings sense. I now had a clear path that, oh, okay, I've just been wasting my life, wasting my time over the years, and because there's now God in my life, everything now became to make sense. Even there are some things that I won't even plan, God will just bring it my way. I will just see it, and I will key into it, and I will access it easily when everybody is struggling with it. And because faith without work is dead as well. So I also had to work hard. As I'm praying hard, I'm working hard. I'm praying hard, I'm working hard. And because I'm praying hard, I'm preparing. God is just what God just needs to do is to be bringing the opportunity my way, because I'm just doing my own part of praying and working. God is just doing His own part of bringing opportunity and confirming the opportunity, and it's just manifesting. So I will just encourage everybody: never limit yourself. Never think you can't do it. Like I told you my story, I was not that bright. I was not a first class student in my undergrad. I got it with 2-1. I was so playful in my university days. I was the outgoing type, never kind of serious. But because of a single statement of my lecturer that said, you know what, you could have become a first class student if you were serious. So that statement stick to me, and I went back, I sat down, then I begin to think about my life. And in the process of thinking about my life, 2016, God came in and everything just became to make sense. And since then, I can tell you, it's just even though some things I don't even plan for, just begin to bring it my way, bring people my way, bring destiny pass my way, people that are able to guide you, support you, in your journey of life. And that's how it is. If you want to run faster, if you want to fly higher, just let God be in your life, and all those things will just be testimony. And I must tell you, it's not an easy journey. It's not maybe a bed of roses. You must work for it. You must deny yourself of so many things, deny yourself of so many friends, deny yourself of so many players, deny yourself from so many activities out there, because all those things you will still have time to enjoy it. Don't run after money first, run after value, run after purpose. At the end of the day, money will run after you. Okay. So I thank you so much for this opportunity, and it's a pleasure to be here this evening. And thank you, and it's good to meet you as well, Messi Ojetunde. And it's my pleasure to talk to everybody this evening. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, our speakers, for those young boys and girls out there. Mr. Oluwaferami has clearly told us, don't run after money, run after value. So later money will chase you. So it's been an awesome time in a studio here from Sir Tim's Media. It's been an awesome time. So I want to appreciate the speakers for your time. You've had a stressful day, and you still find time to be here this evening. So before we go, please, to our viewers out there, I want you to take a very good look at what you have learned tonight or this evening. Put them into use. We want to begin to see changes. We want to see people, young boys and girls, going for conferences. We want to see young boys and girls publishing different things. We want to see young boys and girls doing well. We don't want a society that people just believe that education is scam. People, that is the public mentality. Education, school na scam, and that is the popular cliche out there. Education is still paying. It has paid me. It has paid Mr. Oluwaferami Adeyemo, and it has paid Messi Ojetunde, and it's still paying each and every one of us out there. So education is not scam. Education is not scam. So take your time, do your reading, do your research, and the sky will not be your limit. It will be your starting point. Thank you very much this evening for joining us. See you again, same time, same social media handle next week, Sunday. And have a good time this week. Bye.